Oh, 2011, you crazy son of a bitch. 2010 just gave us a massive list of wonderful games, and yet here you come and just blow it out of the water. Well, the time of the year has come where I'm going to give my list of the top 10 games of 2011. Like last year, my top 10 are not based on sales, other sites' reviews, or even my own reviews. They're based entirely off of how much fun I had while playing them. I had a really tough time looking over the massive list of titles, and it pains me to leave off several great games, as well as games I didn't really get a chance to play like Gears of War 3. There just simply wasn't enough time to get all the big name titles this year because the fall season was just so jam-packed with great games. Now, there was much nerd rage with my top 10 games of 2010 last year, which I really can't understand. It's not like I'm the definitive voice of gaming. It's not like my personal opinion on which games I liked better than others really should matter to anyone but me. But lo and behold, nerd rage ensued. So, if you like to get all hot and bothered over trivial bullshit, stay tuned. Roll 'em! Released bright and early in the year, Media Molecule and Sony Computer Entertainment's LittleBigPlanet 2 was, as far as I'm concerned, a massive success in the user-created content platforming genre. The funny, cute campaign was enough itself to merit the cost of the title, but the ridiculous amount of user-created levels that were as good or better than the content that professional game designers create really seals the deal. And you can play it all with 4 friends locally. If you own a PlayStation 3, LittleBigPlanet 2 should absolutely be in your collection. Not being a huge fan of the Wii myself, I'm always pleasantly surprised when a big-name Nintendo title is released that utilizes the Wiimote in a fashion that makes the user experience something special. The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword tells us the tale of the origins of Hyrule, Link, Zelda, Ganon, and the Master Sword in a beautiful, watercolored painted world. The puzzles are challenging and the dungeon layouts were some of the best I've explored in a long time. I don't typically buy games for the Wii, but Skyward Sword was certainly worth my money. Coming in at number 8 in 2011 is Dragon Age 2. While frowned upon by many due to its lack of scale, difficulty, and tactics when compared to its epic predecessor, in its own right I found it to be quite good. Dragon Age 2 tells us the tale of Hawke and his mission to become the savior of Kirkwall as he deals with the political and religious battles between the Templar and the Mages. Was the game consoleized? Perhaps, but that did not deter me from enjoying the complicated subset of events set in the same time and period as those found in the epic Dragon Age Origins. And don't even get me started on how anxious I am to see how the remainder of the story is going to play out in the next Dragon Age game. My next pick is a bit of a stretch for some gamers. Atlus's challenging adult puzzle platformer survival horror role-playing genre bender Catherine was an absolute blast to experience. You play as 32-year-old slacker Vincent Brooks as he fights off the urges to commit to his longtime girlfriend Catherine. A series of crazy Twilight Zone-like story moments had me scratching my head until the very end, while the intense action-packed climbing dream sequences had me raging for hours on end. While I'm a great fan of puzzle games, especially when you have to think as quickly as you do with Catherine, I think the reason I enjoyed this game so much was due to the fact that I can simply relate with Vincent. One of the most highly praised games of the year from pretty much anyone who thinks they're anyone, Batman Arkham City takes everything we loved about Arkham Asylum to the next level, giving us another amazing cast of our favorite DC comic characters from the beloved Batman comic books and animated series. Hugo Strange has taken it upon himself to convince the mayor to lock up all of the criminals of Gotham into an area of the city and throw away the key. In a wild turn of events, Batman finds himself locked up inside with the prisoners and all hell breaks loose. The story alone was top-notch, but the gameplay mechanics make Arkham City a must-play for fans of comic books and action games alike. Valve has done it again by adding another golden title to their already amazing lineup of wonderful games. Portal was one of the most clever games I'd ever played, so it was simply gaming bliss when I got to play through Portal 2. Giving us a longer campaign, new mechanics, great pacing with difficult puzzles, and the infamous co-op multiplayer puzzles, Portal 2 did pretty much everything right as far as a puzzle platformer should be concerned. Being that my top 10 list consists of games of all genres, it may seem out of place for Portal 2 to be right in the middle, but if I had a category for Best Puzzle Game of the Year, this would certainly take the cake. Get it? Cake? Coming in at a strong number 4 is Deus Ex Human Revolution. After completing this title, I knew it was going to be a strong contender for Game of the Year. The story takes place in our near future where science has developed a method to augment human body parts, making them stronger, faster, and better all around. Various political parties want to govern or abolish the technology, and that's where you, Adam Jensen, ex-SWAT badass, augmented to hell with body parts that would make RoboCop jealous, step in. The game offers strong morality choices woven into a wonderful story, and the gameplay mechanics allow you to play as stealthy and non-lethal, or a balls-to-the-wall, guns-a-blazing motherfucker. The clear attention to detail put into the creation of such immersive world makes this a must-play for pretty much any type of gamer. Uh-oh, Skyrim wasn't my favorite game of the year. Alert the nerds and fanboys. Nah, I'm not here to start a flame war. The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim was seriously an amazing game. The sheer scale of the game world, its characters, the variety in the ways that you can build your character, and the epic story you participate in make it a game that all gamers should try regardless as to their preferences and genres. Mix on top of that the ridiculously stunning visuals, one of the most kick-ass soundtracks I've ever listened to, and probably the largest game world I've ever played in, and there really isn't much more to say about Skyrim beyond it's fucking awesome. My number 2 game of 2011 is CD Projekt's The Witcher 2. I pretty much took 2 weeks off of my life when this title was released because I was just so drawn in. Seriously, this has to have the most beautiful graphics and art style of any game I've ever played. Mix that on top of the dark and mature storyline, a little sex here and there, and some seriously challenging combat mechanics that were significantly improved over those of its predecessor. Out of all the games this year, this was one of 2 that merited a second playthrough, despite my ridiculously busy schedule. While The Witcher 2 wasn't received well by many gamers and some critics, to me, it was almost perfect. This game was just amazing, and I can't wait to see what the next chapter holds in store for us. And finally, my game of the year for 2011, which should come as no surprise to those of you who watch my League of Legends drunk commentated gameplay channel, is of course From Software's Dark Souls. I simply can't give this game enough praise. Over the past couple months, I've clocked in close to 200 hours of gameplay spread out over multiple characters and completing several playthroughs. I never play games through more than once, so for a game to captivate me so greatly, I'm nearly speechless. This is not a title for those without patience. Dark Souls takes skill, not time, not the right gear, actual skill. Let alone the fact that you've got an online community just waiting to evade your game and kick your ass and laugh as you fall. If you're looking for a game to hold your attention and give you actual bragging rights when you complete it, and then learn to master the online PvP portion, well, this is a no-brainer in my book. I beg From Software to give us another entry in the series, please. And that's it. I'm willing to bet most of you are going to have some remarkably different lists. I didn't include Modern Warfare 3, Battlefield 3, Mortal Kombat, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and many more. This year was simply bogged down with kick-ass games release after release. I imagine we're all gripping our piggy banks pretty tightly after this anal raping, and yet I still hope that 2012 gives us even more ways for us to cram our money down those wonderful developers' throats. Stay up to date by following me on Twitter and Facebook, and make sure to check out all of the other great gaming entertainment on the Game Station. Don't forget to subscribe and press the thumbs up button. Thanks for watching.